Hello and welcome to another special episode of HW State Drive with me Anil Rajput and our sports editor Mahesh Kuti. After registering victories against heavyweight team, the Indian team faced a reality check in the game against Afghanistan. The heavy batted Indian team was put on its knees by the Afghan spin attack. So Mahesh, do you think the Indian batsmen threw out the wickets or the score have been more?
See, most of the Indian batsmen in yesterday's match did play irresponsible shots. That started with KL Rahul. In fact, Rohit Sharma was the only guy who was beaten all ends up. Even Virat Kohli played a square cut. He could have kept the ball down. In fact, you should have seen the earlier delivery that he played. He tried to force the ball with a lot of strength. He was not able to pierce the field. So what he did in the next ball, he used more strength. And that ensured that the ball went in the air and he got caught. But I was totally, surprised the way KL Rahul played. There was no need for a reverse sweep so early on in the innings. India were going well. There was no need to play anything like that. We could have easily taken 5-6 runs and over and should have kept the scoreboard moving. Then we saw Vijay Shankar, bad shot. Hardik Pandya, again irresponsible shot. Dhoni's case is once again put a big question mark. The problem with Dhoni is that he consumes a lot of balls. Once he consumes a lot of balls, then it becomes his responsibility to see to it that he scores the runs. Unfortunately, yesterday he couldn't do it. He was not able to time the ball. It was a completely different Dhoni innings. See, Dhoni, normally what he does is he takes a lot of singles and twos. Even if he does that over the next few matches, that's good enough. Because what it does is it keeps the scoreboard moving. He gets himself into the rhythm. See, you can't consume 50 balls and score just 20 runs. What happens is a lot of pressure on the batsman that's going to come into bat. What Dhoni should have ideally done, should have been keeping on taking singles, kept the scoreboard moving, and then when he would have got really set in the last 5-6 overs, he could have actually gone ahead. But what happened? He threw his wicket away, I thought, to a spinner.
Vijay Shankar scored 29 of 41 balls. Dhoni scored 28 of 51 balls. Do you think it was a reality check for the Indian batsmen, especially how they handled the spin attack of Afghan?
See, Afghanistan has got a fantastic spin attack. There is no doubt about that. Look at their spinners. They're all world-class spinners. And these guys play around the world. Though they play only franchisee cricket, they can still control any batsman in the world. Rashid Khan bowled very badly against
England. Made a good comeback.
But yeah, yesterday he did quite well for himself. So these guys are quick learners. That much is definitely on. Yes, it was a reality check. And I think India must be really, really satisfied at the end of the day that the result came in their favour. It was not convincing by any stretch of imagination. They won by the skin of their teeth, as they say. So hopefully they will realize that no team in this World Cup can be taken lightly. Anybody who they play against in the following matches, they have to be very careful. In fact, Virat Kohli was upfront about that right at the toss, and he said that whoever is the team or whoever is the opposition, they don't take anybody lightly, and that's a good way of looking at every match.
With Vijay Shankar's performance in the batting order, yesterday he didn't got a chance to bowl. Do you think on a pitch like this, where the opposite team has played 4 spinners and India just went with 2 spinners and 5 full-time bowlers, should Ravindra Jadeja would have been in the team in place of Vijay Shankar?
You know what? I was quite surprised that Vijay Shankar did not bowl even a single over, and that Hardik Pandya bowled all 10 overs. Ideally, what they should have done is they should have given him a few overs. You don't know who would bowl it, in a particular day. And the most surprising thing was Kedar Jadhav not being used for the second consecutive match. Remember, Kedar Jadhav scored a half century. That means that day was a good day for him.
He was quite confident.
He was very confident. See, his bowling also in that kind of wicket where the ball was stopping and coming. See, it was like a tennis ball pitch. The ball was coming, bouncing slowly and coming. Somebody like Kedar Jadhav, because he bowls so low, his trajectory is very low, he could have been effective. Very surprising that Virat did not use him at all. Vijay Shankar now will be under a lot of pressure. Actually, yesterday even in the fielding, he made a little bit of blunders, and you could see the reaction from Dhoni. Jadeja could have been taken in the team, no doubt about that. But that would have made our batting a little more weak. If you look at it, our last 3-4 batsmen can hardly put bat to ball. So that must be a big cause for concern. Both the spinners and both our pace bowlers can't actually bat. So that could be the reason why they kept Vijay Shankar. Otherwise, I think they should have taken.
With Vijay Shankar's consecutive failures, do you think Kedar Jadhav should be tested at number 4?
Oh, I would have been more than happy to see Jadhav walking at 4 because he's a good batsman. He's got beautiful hands and he can keep the scoreboard moving. And if the need arises, he can hit the ball long. So they should have taken Jadhav. They should have picked up Jadhav, and they have picked up Jadhav. They should have played him at number 4. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Next question, from the point of Shikhar Dhawan's injury, there were talks that Rishabh Pant should be included in the squad. Rishabh Pant was included in the squad. In the game against Afghanistan, it was like quite an easy game which was not put at the end. Should Rishabh Pant would have been played, and with Dhoni's performance in the last four matches, do you think Rishabh Pant should replace Dhoni?
Okay, now had Rishabh Pant played, Dhoni would not have played. Now Dhoni not playing, yesterday in the crunch situation, in the second last over, when Bumrah was bowling, Shami was bowling, it made a lot of sense because Dhoni ran up to the bowler and told them exactly what to do. So that is what Dhoni gets into the game. He gets in that experience, and that is something that nothing can, substitute that. So I don't know whether Rishabh Pant can replace Dhoni,
or he should be in that squad itself, playing 11.
He can be taken in the playing 11. Now a lot of people would want him to replace Vijay Shankar and bat at number 4. It's not a bad idea, because if somebody like Rishabh Pant batting at 4 means that Hardik Pandya need not be pushed ahead, because Rishabh Pant can actually tong the ball long. So you don't know, in the next match, that's the match against the West Indies, probably we might see Rishabh Pant play at number 4.
Your response to that Dhoni being replaced question. My question is, at tense moment like the last over, when Mohammed Shami was bowling the final over, Dhoni came to him and told that you should bowl a Yorker. At that moment of time, Virat Kohli was at the boundary. Do you think Virat Kohli should have come to Mohammed Shami and told him what to do in that moment?
Okay, now what happens is that Indians in the final overs keeps their best fielders on the boundary line. That is to save the boundary. You see Hardik Pandya, you see Vijay Shankar, you see Virat Kohli, all these guys on the boundary line. And I think Virat Kohli has accepted that he may be the captain, but Dhoni has every right to go up to a bowler and tell them what to do. Dhoni is an experienced captain or an ex-captain. So I don't see anything wrong in that. And this has not been the first time. If you see, for a long period of time, Dhoni used to literally teach the spinners where to bowl. So it's perfectly fine. As long as India gets the result that they want, it doesn't matter who advises and who takes the advice.
So talking about the Indian bowling, which over do you think? According to many people are saying that the 29th over by Bumrah was the turning point of the game. Many people saying that the hat-trick of Mohammed Shami was the turning point of the game. What according to you was the turning point of the game?
See, the 29th over, Bumrah taking 2 wickets actually turned the game. But then Mohammad Nabi and Rashid Khan actually were playing pretty well. And at one point of time, I thought that they might be able to pull it off. But, the experience thing would have come into play, and Rashid Khan became out, and then what happened was completely chaotic for these guys. But yeah, the 29th over, Bumrah actually turned the game around on that side.
Now do you rate Bumrah's performance? In the last 2 overs which he bowled, he actually bowled 9 Yorkers out of the 12th ball.
That's the best ball delivery to bowl in a tense situation. But the margin of error is very thin. You pitch it by a couple of inches out, and the ball goes for 6. That happened to the first ball that Shami bowled in the last over. He also tried to bowl the Yorker, But what happened is he got the reverse coming in, but it was a full toss ball. That's the problem, Unless you're extremely confident, you will never have the guts to bowl an Yorker. Shami tried to bowl an Yorker, he got hit for a 6. That's the time when Dhoni walked up to him or ran up to him and told him, this is where you have to bowl. And then the next 3 balls were brilliant.
Talking about Jasprit Bumrah got the man of the match. Do you think Mohammad Nabi deserved the award more often than Bumrah?
See, as a practice, normally the team that wins, a player from that team gets the man of the match award. There is no doubt that Nabi won the hearts of every cricket fan around the world. I think he played brilliantly. And had he connected it slightly better, I think Afghanistan would be today celebrating.
And with a near defeat in the match against India, why do you think the Afghani team would go in the front?
Now Afghanistan has been playing very boldly because they've got nothing to lose. Okay, as it is, when they entered the tournament, they were the lowest ranked team. But Against India, they have actually punched way above their weight. It will be very interesting to see what confidence they take out of this match and they go ahead and play. You need to give them a lot of credit. The last match against England, they were hammered. England scored 397, wasn't that the score that they scored? Yet they bounced back and they played brilliantly. So going ahead, if they take this confidence into the next few games, I would want to see how Afghanistan played.
And what would be Indian teams teaching from the game against Afghanistan?
Never underestimate any team. 2, don't play irresponsible shots. 3, never have a target which is way beyond what the pitch is expected to deliver. What happened is, I think India were at one point of time, they were started by thinking it looked a beautiful wicket, bright sunshine, it had everything that looked that India would score a huge score. But the moment the Indian batsmen would have gone out, they would have realized that this pitch is holding up. The moment the pitch starts holding up, you need to reassess and decide that if you have a 350 run or a 375 run mark, you need to start reassessing it to probably 275 and then see how it goes. I think most of the Indian batsmen were trying to manufacture shots. I mean, somebody like KL Rahul, unpardonable.
Playing that reverse sweep.
Not at all required. You've just, I mean, you've got the entire match left. You've batted hardly any time. If he had batted for a longer period of time along with Virat, and even if they would have consumed a lot of balls, either fag end of the innings, if India had the wickets, I think India would have scored in excess of 260.
So, with India facing a near defeat in the game against Afghanistan, they would like to get some teaching from the game in a game against West Indies. Do watch the match and do watch a preview of the India versus West Indies game. Till then, it's goodbye from all of us.